going to get into today? Well, today is Distilling Day. Long time coming for our Apple Rye Whiskey. I have to say that this has been a challenge mash for me. I mean, as I said before, first it started out, we made the mash on it. I mean, extremely hot day, and then the fermentation, it got going good in the beginning, so I thought everything was going right, and then it stopped. So we checked the pH and all, and found the pH was really low, so we adjusted the pH up a little bit. It got going, then it slowed down again. So what did we end up with? Well, we started out at 1.085 if I remember right, and I ended up, it is at 1.010, and I'm gonna run it. I'm tired of messing with it. So that's what we're going to do today, and let's get started. Okay, so I already got the mash in the still pot. Let's go ahead and get this still stacked out, and we're going to start getting some heat under this thing. And one thing I did do is I put a screen on top of the mash pot when I was siphoning over, and then I had to dip a little bit of it too, just to catch any chunks. I don't want any scorching, so that's why I did that, just to help clean it up a little bit. Alright, so let's get this still stacked out, and then we're going to get making this apple rye, and it's going to be another hot one today. But we got to do what we got to do, right? Okay, so let's get going. But first, welcome to Stillworks and Brewing. My name is Randy, and this is a channel that's all about home distillation and brewing. Oh, wait a minute. There is one thing that you can do for us. Hit that subscribe button down there, please, would you? All right, let's get going. Okay, so we got the still stacked out. We got a really low fire underneath of it. I got the heating element on very low, just in case there's anything solids in that mash. I want to make sure that we get that mash moving around before I put more heat on it, just to help it from scorching. Okay, so what do we got? I got 2 rolls of copper inside the first part of the column. Let me move. Got me a sight glass on. I can start to see a little of like fog inside the sight glass. What's the pot temperature? Pot temperature is right about, I don't know, 160. Just a little bit of condensation. Then we got a little extension here, and then I got my condenser. I got just a very little bit of water running through my condenser. I don't know, I just always like to start it off a little bit early. Just a real slow. Plus it helps me check for leaks if I have any leaks. Alright, so this is our Apple Rye Whiskey, Distillation Day. It's extremely hot out here. So we'll get this done, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay? The pot temperature is about 175. You start feeling your column now. You'll start feeling the heat come up. Okay, you'll feel it. You'll feel it starting to come up. All right. Now, if you look up here, I don't know if you can really see, but in the sight glass, it's getting really foggy, getting a little bit of condensation on it. All right. Temperature still is not climbing up yet. Okay, I do have my cooling water on, very low, but if you notice, I'm starting to get a few little drips, and it's really, really potent smelling. It's fingernail polish is what it smells like. Okay, so I will collect off about, on this I'm going to collect off about 8 to 10 ounces. Because it's got fruit in it. Okay. One thing I would have to say is now is, like I've said it in the past, now is not a time to walk away. It is to keep a close eye on it and get ready to dial the heat back a little bit, because when it starts to take off, it's going to take off like a rocket. So, you know, we don't want any puking or nothing like that. Okay, so just keep an eye on your keep an eye on everything. Keep an eye on your temperature. Keep an eye, feel on your column, and you'll be able to tell when it's getting ready to start. Okay. Okay, you can really see I turned my heat back real fast. You can see in cyclists I'm getting a lot of passive reflux right now. The column out is hot, 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 hot all the way up to the point of no return. I got a nice stream coming out, a little bit too fast, so I'm going to cut the heat back just a hair. That's just a little bit too fast for me, but we're off and running. And it, like I said before, it happens like right now. Okay? Okay, so where am I at? Alright, I'm still collecting 4 shots and heads. I got about 8 ounces there now. So what am I going to be doing now is I'm going to be smelling it. I'm going to be tasting it. So the smell, the fingernail polish remover smell, it's gone away. Smells good. And it tastes good. A little hot. It's burning my lips a little bit. But what I'm still going to go ahead and collect off 12 ounces. Just, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Them 2 ounces ain't going to break the bank. Alright? So, we're going to get, I got about 1.5 ounces to go, and then we'll be ready to start collecting. I got a nice little, I wouldn't call it a broken stream, I would call it like a pencil lead kind of broken stream coming off. I'll show you. So I like it just the way I like it running. Okay. Oh, I'll be glad to get this run done to get out of this heat. Okay, let me show you what this stream looks like. That's about where I like it. Okay. Game on. Okay, just to check in, I'm almost 2.5 quarts into this apple rye. I just wanted to let you know the way I make cuts, or the way I collect my distillate. I like to call it, what do I like to call it? I like to call it real-time ABV. Okay, so what I'm constantly doing was I have a refractometer that measures in ABV, alcohol by volume. Okay, it's good up to about 80%. Anything over 80%, it really won't read. So all I do is I'm taking a sample with a dropper right from the spout. So this is what's coming off of the still, I mean, right now. Okay, so I'm going to check this, and right now I'm coming off about, let's see, it's 50, 55, about 110 proof, 55%. Is that right? Yeah, 55%. Okay? And what I will do is I will collect to, once I get to about 40%, I'm going to consider it done. So once it gets close to 40, I'll move back to a smaller jar just in case. And then but right around 40% is when I'm going to call it done. It's worked very well for me. I mean, it is crystal clear. Tastes great. Ooh, I'm getting that rye taste. I'm getting a little hint of that apple taste, is what I expected. All right, like I said, I've had trouble with this mash, but it looks like I'm gonna get a halfway decent yield out of it. But right about now, I'm going to keep checking because I'm going to see the ABV drop off pretty fast, and then I'll know it's time to finish up. Alright? Alright, so I'll be back in a little bit. Okay. Well, I shut the still down. This here would be, I mean, you can even see it's cloudy, dropped below 40 ABV. You see it started getting in the tails. So that one's going to go over into a faint jar. I'll use it later. Okay. So what do we got? I ended up with 3.5 quarts. Okay. Or 2,800 milliliters. Alright. So what I want to do is now I need to find what is my ABV of all this added together. So I will mix all these together. They all taste great. They're all crystal clear. I mean, it ended up, my yield was better than I thought it was going to be for the problems that I had. Okay. So let me get these out of the way. Alright, so what's our ABV, what we got here? Well, let's see, we'll check this out. And we are looking at 110 proof or 55 ABV. Alright, so what I'm going to use is what I told you before that I wanted to do is I wanted to cut this down with apple juice just to get a little extra apple flavor. First, let's just, wow. Woo, that is delicious. A little hot though. A little hot for my liking. But you know what, I could sip one that wouldn't hurt my feelings. But where I like things is I like 80 proof or 40 ABV. That's where I particularly like things. So if I use an online calculator, I'll change that to 110. Okay, so what I need to do at 110 at 2,800 milliliters at the desired 110, at a desired 40 proof that I want, I need to top this off to 4.9 liters. Okay, now normally I will just check it with ABV because I'm adding water. But since I'm going to add apple juice, it has a little bit of sugar in it, and that will throw these off. That's why I'm using a calculator. Okay, so let me get some apple juice and I'll be right back. So what I need to do is add this apple juice to there. Okay, let me get a little more apple juice. Okay. It looks pretty color already. Alright, let me get some more apple juice and I'll be right back. There's what we're going to age. So to recap, I started off with 2,800 or 2.8 liters of 110 distillate of our Apple Rye distillate, and then so I had, according to a calculator, I had to add what did I have to add? 2.1 liters of apple juice, and it should be right at 40 ABV. I'm gonna just check with this. I know it's gonna be off because of the sugar of the apple juice, but it's showing at 45 ABV. I mean, that's what it's showing, but I don't think that's very accurate at all. Okay, I want to see what it tastes like right now. Whoa, got a nice rye bite. Oh man. I love that rye bite. I do taste apple. That's very delicious. All right, I get some oak on this. It is going to turn out to be fantastic. Okay, so that's where right now. Let's add some oak to this, and then we're going to let it sit there and do its thing. All right, so let me get some oak, and I'm going to get it weighed out. So we'll be right. All right, so I got some American oak chips here. And what I'm going to do is I can get it. Here's 3/4 of an ounce of oak chips going to go into that. You know what that ain't? Let me go. I'm going to go with 1 ounce of oak chips in that. Okay? And then we're going to go 1.5. Whoop, whoop. And we're going to go 1.5 here. Now, after a few days, if it ain't getting the color I want, I can add more oak to it. Alright, but this is where I'm going to start off at. Alrighty? Okay, so that is our, what is it? Our Apple Rye Whiskey. Okay? Hey, I'm looking forward to trying this one out. I'm hoping it's going to be delicious. I think it will be. I'll let you know. I guess the last thing I got to say is, hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on Stillworks and Brewing. Cheers, everybody. All right.